Another example of this idea of a blur. You ever see a car going down the road? You look at the hubcap. At a certain speed, it's going in the direction you're going. But if that wheel gets going faster and faster and faster, it appears like it's going in the opposite direction. It's starting to rotate backwards. I don't know if you can go fast enough, so that's why it would appear your wheel is just standing still. It gives a whole new meaning to be still and know that I am God. And you would see them. Examples of this invisible, this blur, is in creation itself. The text we just read in Romans. What a beautiful thought, Father. Never saw it that way before. So with our carnal mind, we can get a glimpse of this, which science is trying to explain it away. He's giving us a glimpse of his being with us, past, present, future. During the course of this whole experience, though I am with you always. You just gotta see it. The carnal mind doesn't. It has to surrender and gain these sights of the invisible. There is nothing more than a blur to our minds. I was recently on Pow Talk. Hadn't been there for 20, 30, 40 years ago. I was on there quite a bit, not anymore. But the Lord had me go back there lately and just listen. See if there's any changes. Well, a lot of the debates are still going on. But every now and then you get a few people make some comments that you know without a doubt it's the Father speaking to them, giving them insights that the natural carnal mind could never see. An individual came on the mic in one of these rooms, I forget which one it was, and she said this beautiful insight of the love of God and seen it expressed in speed, the speed of God's love. And she said it was like a blur. I jumped up and down. That was confirmation of this video I was working on. The manifestation of the eternal image, the blur, a question, the invisible, taken to a new level of speed in our spirit. I mean, that's the eternal now. There is no past, no present, or future. The eternal was, is, and ever shall be eternal. Everything gets expressed in the now. It's like I said, the symbol of eternity is a circle, a complete circle. But if you're looking down on a circle, you can't see that it is an upward spiral, really. See it, upward spiral. Well, if you don't see it, it becomes a downward spiral. Either way, it goes on forever. You'll get to live forever. But if you don't accept and come to see and know Him who is invisible, you'll go downward and get less and less and less and less forever. But in Christ, you increase. With the increase of God, it's an upward spiral. Such beautiful thoughts. I'd had some earlier, and I was sitting out in my kitchen. And every time in my kitchen, if I not aware, that heater in my heater room comes on, and this microphone picks it up, and it distorts this audio to people get distracted by the sound of the heater. So I got up, had to find myself a new place to get this info from my Father. And this time, I'm not going to tell anyone where it's at. Somewhere where, if the devil knew, it seems like he constantly tries to come against you receiving anything from Father. So that's why we have to find our closet. We have to find our hiding place. Get away from this hustle and bustle of life and learn to hear God and be still. If you become still, you'll see the invisible and you'll hear from the invisible, your everlasting eternal Father of your eternal spirit. One more thought, and I'm sitting here. Paul said that, forgetting those things which are past, we press forward to the prize of God's high calling, restoring us to our being the offspring of God, spirit, soul, and body. Beautiful. A whole new view of that. Only with your mind of your spirit, and not this carnal mind, can you see that. The carnal mind needs to be renewed and get up out of this temporal time and focus on the things not seen. Because the things seen, they're only temporary. You'll get caught up in the past or something in the present or the future of tomorrow. But in Christ, everything's speeded up. As John, in the book of Revelation, being lifted up to the spiritual realm. And they can see with a single glance, past, present, future, of the history of this world being played out. Past, present, future. I got videos on that. For 1 minute, the angel was talking to him about something in the past. And then he jumps our idea of time and he speaks about things in the future. And then all of a sudden he's talking to John in the present of that eternal realm, if he can use those terms. And that's why we get so many timelines of the book of Revelation. Because some carnal minds are wrapped up in the past, the history of it all. Some are fearful of tomorrow and second guessing what's coming. And because they aren't in the present to understand that now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. The Lord gave me a definition of that word now, N-O-W. Break it down. The words N-O-W. Not our way. Not our way of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, or our five senses. You got to transcend the five senses and the other 32 senses that we're not even aware of, and get up out of this world and get into what my series on millennium has been talking about. Get into archaic senses. Senses coming from a time forgot. Eternal mind. People fight that, say the mind was created, because it says he gives us a new mind. Yeah, it's new to us. We've been living out of the spirit of this world so long, we can't imagine a realm beyond created time. Your spirit is the same mind that was in the Son of God as the Son of Man, which he lived out, and he could see and hear from his Father. He didn't allow the distraction of this world to cut him off from that. Thank God, he never acted independent of Father. He saw, heard, and he had to say and do what the Father called him to do. The words he spoke weren't his own, but were the words of his Father coming from the eternal world. For the joy that was present with him, in Hebrews chapter 12, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who, for the joy that was present with him, that present was the eternal joy he had with the Father prior to his incarnation to this world. The one who said, Father, how long do I have to be here? How do I be with this faithless generation? And we get this word faith all messed up. Faith is the substance of hope for, the evidence of things not seen. It's bringing the invisible alive. It's called the living Word of God.